What is going on, guys? It is Wraith. I am back again for another Monday night live unboxing, and this time we got the Dark Emissary Consul. We got some custom parts for our Abaddon, including his custom cloak from Forge Knight, as well as his custom helm, or mask, I guess is the best way to say it. His custom mask from JOYTOY. So I'm really excited to get these on there. But the console, Dark Emissary Consul, I originally wasn't looking at picking this figure up. I was originally going to pass on this figure, but I decided to pick him up. And I also, Malgerst, I'm also going to be pre-purchasing him as well. So these are the two of the Sons of Horus, which I was passing on, but I decided to come back and pick both of these up to round out the remaining portion of my Sons of Horus, which I was missing. So I am back. They might be follically challenged, but I'm definitely going to be picking these ones up. So, but yeah, so we got we got the Dark Emissary. We're going to unbox here in just a minute, as well as, like I said, we have a couple of custom parts for Abaddon. The cloak especially, I'm really looking forward at throwing on there, because the one that he had on, there was a well, the cloak was fine. It was the I guess the wolf pelt that was going across his shoulders, or the pelt that was on there, because that was constantly falling off for some reason, and I'm not sure exactly why. So I am very happy to pick those up. We're going to jump into the unboxing first on the Dark Emissary. So let's jump into that. Hold on one sec while I get this. Not sure. There we go. There we go. We got some music going. So, but first we're going to see who's in the chat tonight. There we go. Mr. Double Dillward. I figured you'd be happy that I was doing another Sons of Horus and Abaddon themed unboxing. So remember, everyone, Wraith doesn't collect Sons of Horus. Yeah. But some of them do. Some of them do, Celestial Wolf. So, but anyway, I wanted, like I said, I just ordered this yesterday. And I also ordered Malgerst, because on Toy Hammer After Dark we had spoken about this, and I originally didn't plan on picking him up. And I wasn't going to pick up the Dark Emissary. But I changed my mind, because I want to try to make sure that I get almost all of the Sons of Horus. There are some early ones I have to go back to for the Sons of Horus, especially, I think it's, it's some of the army builders. I have to go and pick those up, plus some of the Tartarus Terminator armor figures as well. I think there was one or two that I didn't pick up. So once those go on a deeper discount, I'll be picking those up. So, but anyway, here's the Dark Emissary Consul. So he comes with his fun staff, no bolter. Well, actually, he does come with. He comes with a pistol bolter. So let's open him up. Let's see what's going on here. Not sure why my music. Oh, he looks cool. Well, you know what? All of these Sons of Horus figures, coming outside of their box, they actually look really cool. Let me see if I can fix the music here. I'm not sure why the music keeps shutting off tonight. It's so weird. Maybe it has something to do with the file that I'm using. Let me see if I can change this. Give me 1 second here. Let's try all of this and see if this works. Wow. Okay. No, I'm getting some weird feedback. Yeah, that's not going to work. Let's try... New battle sector at all? I don't know what's going on with my music tonight at all. This is annoying. Annoying. What's up, Jocko Beans? What's going on, dude? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my music. Something's happening. Something's being messed up. Lower Creed, is this failing upwards? No, this is not at failing upwards. What's up, Logar? So, all right. So here is the Dark Emissary. Like I said, originally I didn't plan on picking him up just because, I don't know, I really wasn't into, I don't know. Something about this figure kind of didn't call to me. Actually, he looks pretty cool. See, maybe he'll be, well, I already got a JOYTOY Black Templar Terminator to go with my Hate Mace. So it's going to be essentially my default hate monitor. So that Black Templar is going to be my first Black Templar that I'm getting, and he's going to go with my Hate Mace. So I should be getting him on Thursday. So we'll do an unboxing on him as well. And here comes the Dark Emissary Consul. Let's bring it in nice and tight on him. Again, power armor sized figure. Horus Heresy. He does have a really cool looking power pack. But looking at the figure from the front, great, nice, tight articulation. By the way, I don't know if you guys have seen on the Discord, DG posted some pictures of the being shipped Night Lords figures. And I have to say, I mean, generally preliminary pictures kind of suck most of the time, but boy, oh boy, those those pictures of the Night Lords Terminators are looking pretty rough right now. I don't know if it's JOYTOY had put the same team that did the White Scars Horus Heresy figures on them, but I don't know, man. They don't look good. They look very plasticky, and yeah, I don't know what the deal is, man. They go from the deathguard figures, the Raven Guard figures being absolutely amazing, to all of a sudden, I didn't have a problem with the colors of the the Night Lords figures, but boy, oh boy, man, they do. Again, it's just a preliminary shot. I'm hoping that's not how they come out, but with the White Scars figures, they were a bit of, actually more than a bit of a problem. They were a problem, especially that Praetor that came out without the coloring on him. And then I got a Khan figure without eyebrows. Now, I remediated that because I bought the helmed version, but yeah, dude, they are, man, they are just looking really rough. Yeah, DD, I know you saw the pictures also. Best head sculpt I've gotten in a while. Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, they absolutely look terrible. I don't know what's going on, man. It's very odd. It's a very odd thing with JOYTOY right now. I don't know. But they have like the Raven Guard Horus Heresy figures look absolutely amazing. So I don't know what the deal is with it. But all right. So anyway, going back to our Dark Emissary Consul, he looks really good. I'm gonna have to pick up a helmeted head for him. His head's a little bit loose in here. But as DD said, this is his best head sculpt that he's gotten in a while. For now, he's going to have the bald head in my collection. I'm going to do a collection room review pretty soon. I'll probably do that right when I come back from vacation. We do our hiatus on there. Now, as you guys know, I am not a big fan of the pistol brick sitting on this figure. I'm hoping we got some other accessories I can swap this out for, because I don't like this. Articulation is nice and tight on the figure. I mean, I can hold him by his one leg and he's not flipping over. Now, there's not as much weight on this figure compared to like a Terminator, but still, the fact that the articulation and the joints are nice and tight and we're not having any floppy joints is a great thing on this figure. So, and you can see the little straps hanging down from the top of his chest plate, and we get the insignia of, or the eye of, Horus on the front. We get a little, oh, this is cool. This is hanging off the belt piece. So this is actually one piece on his waist. So the belt is not a separate piece on the figure, which I'm happy of, because what winds up happening when we get these belts on the figure being a separate piece from the actual either lower or upper portion. I don't mind if it's either sitting on the upper portion of the torso or the lower portion, but I like when they're situated like this, because the belts wind up flopping around, and for some reason some of the accessories or parts that they have on here are a bit of an issue. So, well, he's got like a Heil Hitler Hands up in the air. But again, we can see this was not a reused figure. I'm always going to say that because he has his fisted hands on him. So we get some insignias here on the bottom. DD, you are the resident Sons of Horus expert, so you can relate to the chat specifically what we're seeing on the console here at the bottom, as well as the significance of this half moon sitting at the bottom of here. But the little plastic pieces that are essentially his tabard piece is pretty cool. We got some nice paint on here, red paint on the backside. We got a little bit of a black wash also, and on the front we get a two-tone with the essentially tabbed or bent over piece of the tabard. So that looks pretty cool. On his legs, the legs look like identical. So these look like they were reused. Thighs are not. There's actually a nice little bit of a wash on these legs. And that's what we're not seeing with the Night Lords, man. They just look very plasticky. Even though there isn't a ton of paint on this figure, you can see, just from looking at the armor edges, there is actual wash on here. So we actually have a bit of a wash, at least on the armor edges. We can see on the elbow pad, there's 100%. Definitely a bit of a wash that's on here as well. So it's not all the teal of the, or the, what is it? I guess the sea green of the Sons of Horus. But it's not just that flat color. There's actual nice highlights on the armor as we go around the figure. So, and on the back side, we can see the back side of his tabard coming around the back and against that two-toned plastic, and this feels nice and pliable. There's no problem with this. I'm not going to get soft goods for this figure, so it's nice that these are nice and pliable. And then we get the sheath for his blade. Let's bring his blade out while we're doing this. Where do we got your knife, bro? It's a nice looking dagger too. Very simple, but very solid. And we get a skull design on the top of the dagger hilt. So this looks cool. And then this will fit right into here. And any issues with this coming off? I don't think so. This looks nice and tight, and it's not loose. Whoop, his dagger fell out. This looks nice and tight, and it doesn't look like it has any issues whatsoever with there. The one, like I said, his dagger keeps flying out. We're going to leave that. The one piece that I don't want to keep on here is his brick. So we're going to throw that off, and we'll see if he comes with some extra pieces to be able to throw on him around on his utility belt, essentially. And then on his his left shoulder, we can see the insignia, the Eye of Horus. And on the left, that's not the Eye of Horus. DD, tell me what that is supposed to signify. Is that him as a Emissary Consul? Is that what we're looking at? And then we can see the Eye of Horus on his bracers in red. Very cool. And also on his left and right side of both of his bracers. Looks very cool. And then the head sculpt, again, because I don't have a helm to throw on here, we're going to be forced to look at this head sculpt. I know, guys, I know. He looks like Lobot from Star Wars. I'm always going to say that about these characters with their mechanical stuff on the sides of their ears so they can hear. He really should have a helm to keep himself from getting noggin shot or headshot running around. So, and then the newer shoulder pads also are on here as well. So that's nice. By the way, I found out these aren't newer. I was looking at one of my Chaos figures, and he actually, Black Legion figure, sorry, essentially it's the first wave. And he had these shoulder pads on there. So they had this in the figures, but they decided not to go with this. So there's a Black Legion figure. I'm going to have to take a look at my other figures to see if it's the same way. But it's a first release Black Legion figure in power armor. Power armor, for God's sake, not a Terminator. And he has the hinges and this on his shoulder pad. So you can move it around nice and neat and not have to worry about, when you're articulating the figure, having some weird gappage issues in here. So overall, this is a very solid figure. I am very scared to say this is looking better than what we might be getting with the Night Lords, as insane as it sounds, dude. I'm hoping that we are wrong about the Night Lords and they are not wind up being terrible figures. So, figures are getting worse, more expensive. I got my Dark Furious and look great. Well, well, I'll push back a little bit, DD, on its select few, right? Our Death Guard figures are amazing. Our Raven Guard figures are amazing. Our White Scarred figures sucked. our recent figures for the Imperial Fists, as well as the Sons of Horus figures, are really good. So it feels like a team that they're putting on these figures. I don't know what it is, man. It feels like that team just doesn't give a shit, and we're getting some weird shit that's happening, dude. Logar Creed, apologies, bud. I saw the poll about the Night Lords and instantly thought of falling upward. I gotta get those Night Lords. I haven't been able to get any JOYTOY figures in a while. Well, Logar, thank you for jumping in here, and this way you can get your feed for some JOYTOY figures as I open them up. Who would you suggest? From the Night Lords, I would pick Sevatar. I think that's going to wind up being the best of our Night Lord figures. You can also possibly wait this week, and I think we're going to get the announcement of Conrad Kurz, and that figure, if you're not aware, we're going to be actually giving the next Primarch away free in conjunction with our affiliate, David Toys. So we're going to be giving that figure away free. If it's announced this week during the last Toy Hammer After Dark this Sunday before we go on vacation for a couple of weeks, then on this Sunday's show, where Sprues and Studs will make his monthly appearance, we'll be giving that figure away as a pre-order with expedited shipping from David's Toys. So you guys are going to get that Conrad Kurz figure, if that's the next Primarch, as fast as possible. So I'm not expecting I'm expecting it's too much demand, putting too much effort into putting product out, and corners are getting cut. Yeah, it's weird though, dude. Like I said, it seems like it's hit and miss with some of them. Like every single one of our Raven Guard figures were awesome. I can call out specifically the White Scars figures being a problem, as well as the Prime. I can't believe they did not get on correct, dude. I don't get that. I do not understand that. You're right, Jack. I'd rather have them slow down and put up better quality. I agree. I feel like they're going a bit crazy with trying to get product out. The amount of stuff that they're putting out is crazy. Last year was even more. Sorry I'm late, lost track time. No problem, Andy. You're not late. I'm recommending Sevatar. Probably spelt that name wrong, or either the Praetors would be also fine. I think Sevatar is going to be great. I think he's actually going to be a really good figure. So, DG, what's going on, dude? JOYTOY got over their head, and that's an awful product. The Terminator one-night skip, yeah. The images shown are not a great final example. That's a terrible paint job. Yeah, dude, that's very weird. I'm not too sure about the crescent symbol. Nothing special. The staff is supposed to represent the Eye of Horus, which serves as a literal and figurative symbol of the Warmaster's will. Wow, wow, wow. I am stoked. Fingers crossed. I haven't won anything in years. Well, Logar, make sure that you keep watch for when they do announce Conrad Kurz or the next Primarch. If it's this week, this Toy Hammer After Dark will be giving that figure away. If it's not this week and it's given away while we're on hiatus, the first show we return with to Toy Hammer After Dark in August, we're going to be giving the Primarch figure away. Again, thanks to our affiliate, David's Toys. And if you guys want to support the channel, as I always say, best way to do it is use the affiliate links to purchase your product. Everything here on the channel is free. We don't have super chats, don't have ads, and I do not have memberships. So best way to do it is support the show. Use our affiliate links for either LT Cave, David's Toys, Cool Toys Club, or if you want some custom parts we're going to look at in a minute, WOG Toys. We also have a 8% discount for Starforged if you want to pick up some cool jewelry or some stuff. I just got this bracelet of the mechanic. I'm going to do a full review on this from Starforged in the future. So anyway, going back to our console, this is actually a really good figure. I wound up picking this up from Amazon, actually, to get it really quickly to me. But yeah, so here's his, let's look at his power pack, which actually looks really good. So here's the back of his power pack. All right, let's see. This is the back of his power pack, and it looks cool with the skulls of some Ultramarines, which are all golded out. And then on the front, we can see the Eye of Horus on his power pack, so it looks quite solid. And his exhausts do not move. Oh no, they do. They do. They're just a little tight. This one's a little bit tighter, but his exhausts on his power pack do move as well. So we get a little bit of articulation, and then we get the chain. We get some more symbols. Eye of Horus on the back there, as well as some more little pieces on there. He's got some he's got some more jewelry on the back of his power pack, but this looks good. Again, we could see, let me see actually if there's any kind of a wash on this. No, there's no wash on his power pack whatsoever, but it's not as big of a deal because there's not too much teal on the back of this. We have a lot of the chains crossed over, and the gold skulls help take away the notice from that. So there's really no paint wash or wash on the back of his power pack. So, but we've seen that really with all of the Horus Heresy figures. They're very, very rare. Well, we'll actually get a paint wash on the power pack. Now, the power pack is fitting on nice and snug and secure. Oh man, this actually, there we go. Wow, this is really nice and secure. Most of the power packs, sometimes you guys will see me, I'll get pissed off because they're too loose, and I'll wind up immediately after the stream, I'll go and glue them on the back of it, which I don't mind doing. So now this is going to be, oh, this actually goes onto his staff. Dude, his staff is massive. So he's got also, he's almost got, it looks like a thurible in a way, that I'm guessing he holds. And then he's got a couple of hands as well as his figure stand. So we'll get this out. Put his figure stand on the side. So with a bolter pistol, and standard bolter pistol, and the magazine is removable, which is great. I do wish we had a sculpted bolter round on the inside of this magazine, but very standard, no wash, nothing, just a very standard bolter pistol for him. And then he comes with, oh, he does come with some extra pieces. I have so many extra pieces to throw in his belt that I don't have to have the brick on there. So we're going to throw the brick onto the side. And he's got a couple of extra hands, pistol grip and grippy gripper hands, as well as his fist hands. So he comes with a total of 6 sets of hands. And I'm sure you guys are just like me. You have a massive box of hands, dude. So, and again, we even get some shading on some of these hands as well. We got our pistol grip and our grippy gripper hands. So we're going to throw these to the side. And his knife, which kept flying off, is over here as well. So he comes with a bolter, his pistol, and he also comes with some grenades, some crack grenades and stuff. We're going to just throw the grenades onto here, onto his back. And then I have extra pieces that I'm going to throw in here. I think I even have like a scroll or something that I can use on the back of the figure. So, all right, so let's move the figure out of the way and let's take a look at the main, well, one of the main accessories. We'll look at essentially the thurible that he's holding. I think this is like an incense holder, right? Or DD, you can correct me here, but this is supposed to look like the Eye of Horus with the skull of an Ultramarine, and I'm calling that it's an Ultramarine. But we got this here. I'm guessing he spreads the incense of the dead Ultramarines wherever he walks. And then we're going to look at his massive staff that he has. And so this is the staff. And then, is there a way that this goes on? I don't think so. I think it's, oh no, there is. This is flat-ended. So if you can see on here, on the side, this is a flat-ended part of the spear. So if you look on the inside, it just goes on like that. Okay, cool. Fits in nice and snug and smooth. And again, there's a little bit, I don't know if the camera's picking this up, but this handle is much more silver. Then there's more of a Picatinny color that's on here. There's even a tiny bit of a bronzes wash, it looks like, on the edges of the staff. So it's not all just one flat color. And I do appreciate that. And then we got the half crescent moon hanging from here. These are plastic chains that are hanging from this as well. And we can see the power. This is how it's being powered up. So he can use this as a power weapon and smack some Ultramarines around with it. So, all right, so here's the figure. That's how big the staff is for... Geez, I'm going to have to bring out the camera a little bit to be able to pull this in all the way. But here's the staff. And yeah, it's pretty big. Pretty big. We'll swap out his hands. I am a little bit bummed that I do not have a... I don't have a helm for this dude. So we're just going to have to keep him with his Lobot looking head and helm. Head sculpt on there, rather. And then I'm probably going to go to WOG Toys after this and see if I can pick up a custom helm for him. Or if they don't have anything, I'll go to Toyverse. I got to pick up some stuff from Toyverse too, so... Alright, so here's his pistol grip. We're going to go pistol grip and a grippy hand. I know I've been throwing pistol grip hands on here, but I feel like with the staff, just because of the extra weight on this, I feel like I need to have the full fingers, come on, stop being weird, sitting on here to hold the entire weight of this staff. So that looks good. And then we're going to, I don't know, should I do a bolter in his hand, or should I do this hanging thurible? I don't know. I feel like I could just throw the thurible on his wrist and he can walk around with it like this. Alright, that's not bad. Then we'll throw, gotta have something here, man. So he's gonna have his pistol bolter in his hand, and he's got his Dark Emissary Consul staff. He looks pretty good. Again, I'm not a huge fan of these console figures, but I like the fact that he has a banner-like symbol on here. So I'm gonna throw the thurible on here for now. So he looks good. Let me bring him into focus a bit better here. Now I can put him a bit better. Let me bring him in. Yeah, pretty solid figure. I actually like him. Like I said, the only thing that I have to fix is the fact that he is rocking his Lobot setup. Let me pull it out a little bit so we get the full staff in there. But yeah, the only problem is, like I said, he doesn't have a helmeted head, so he's follically challenged in my collection. So let's look at the chat. Celestial Wolf, didn't they switch to a bigger factory as well as changing their painters? That's why the figures are currently bouncing all over the place in quality. That's a good point, and it's probably true. Sevatar is definitely a sexy vixen. Yes, Sevatar is 100% definitely. If you're going to pick up one of the Night Lords, I definitely would be picking him up. I'm glad I get my feedback from here about upcoming figures and what everyone's suggestion is. Yes, I agree. Yes, Celestial, they changed that, but the way they're going by these sloppy paint jobs, they want to follow Mattel's rushed, terrible products. Oof. Yeah, especially they lost the TMNT license to Mattel too, so. Ooh, trust me, I'll be watching. Yeah, when we give away that free figure. That's such a shame, DG. Yeah. Honestly, they got too big, and now we're getting these rushed products. That paint job is terrible and should be called out. Yeah, I am very surprised. Well, I can't be surprised because of what we got with the White Scars. Dude, they're an Asian-based company. And the Asian, really, the Asian Mongols, right? That's what we're talking about here. The White Scars figures, I would have thought like they would have taken extra care with those figures. And they didn't, dude. It's so weird. Celestial Wolf, I was just pointing out some reasons why some of the new releases haven't been up to par with our expectation. Hopefully it changes soon. No, I agree with you. Like I said, it's very weird how it's happening. It's here and there, but it's usually the entire chapter that has a problem. We did have that one weird issue with the Lord of Virulence from Deathguard, but that was really just a missing wash that was on the figure. All the other figures since then have been amazing. So we already got McFarlane. We don't need shitty paint jobs in our JOYTOYs, especially with how much we're paying for these figures. Funny thing about the McFarlane figures, I was in Walmart the other day and I saw the 3 figures, one of them being the Dark Angels with the MK6 helm on, and then there was a Reaver, and then there was a Blood Raven. And I was very close to picking them up. But, yeah, I don't know. They were like, I think like 30, 35 bucks. I was like, yeah, no, I'm going to pass. Plus, I'll be sitting there and I'm like, I don't even want to look at these things when I pull them out of the boxes. So they would have to be sitting in the boxes the entire time for me. So, exactly, I had to go back to remind myself that the paint job they did on a $60 figure is unacceptable. Yeah, I agree. It sucks, dude. Well, listen, man, Khan's head sculpt was a complete wash for me. I mean, I would have gotten the helmeted helm, which I got a helmeted version of him anyway. But man, dude, if I wasn't going to get that, I would be really upset. My bro didn't have any eyebrows, man. The guy is looking constantly surprised. I'm tempted to cancel my NL order to see if they do a repaint. Wow, they won't if I remember correctly. In the Instagram, we had a chance to see if JOYTOY would change them, and they didn't work. Yeah, I feel like they sold so many of the pre-orders, man. I feel like that's what wound up happening. It would really sting to have the first wave of inferior figures and have to rebuy them later. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't see them reissuing the figures. They've never done that before. So even if they suck, we're not going to get them reissued. So, what's up, Walkabout Games? I need him. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's a very good figure, actually. I'm glad I did not totally pass on him. So, once we get the Reavers, Sons of Horus, 30 minis will be done. Oh, and Loken. Yeah, we need Gavial Loken, dude. God, I got all excited. I thought my White Scars Dread was here, but was something for my wife. Oh, man. Loken is so neat. I know, dude. Well, we got to get Loken, and we got to get my boy of Garrow. I want to have Garrow and Gavial Loken come out at the same point, and then we could do like a whole thing with the introduction of the Grey Knights, man. That's what we need. The White Scars Red is badass, bro. He looks so good. He does. DD, I am doing a repaint on him. We will have he will have fleas. Changing him to Space Wolf. Interesting. Very interesting. Alright, so there is our Dark Emissary Consul. I think he's a solid figure. I'm actually pretty happy I got him. The only thing, like I said, with him is just the head sculpt, which is not a deal breaker. Ooh, I didn't even notice. In the Eye of Horus here, on the back of his power pack, you can see there's a little bit of yellow around the eye there, which helps make it pop. Very cool. And we got the nice Eye of Horus on the front here. So, very cool figure overall. Like I said, the only thing. Ooh, let's throw a dagger in here. The only thing that I'll have to do with this figure is get a head sculpt, so we won't have the Lobot issue. And the only other thing, and I always complain about this, is our pistol brick. Right, we got a pistol brick for his backside. So I don't like when they do this. So we're going to put this to the side, and we'll put our Dark Consul Emissary to the side as well. Now here is the thing I have been waiting to do, and I have a bunch of these soft goods for Sanguinius. I have them for my Nemesis Dread Knight. I got them for Valdo. I have so many soft goods for from Forge Knight for these figures. Now, let me pull this back out a little bit. Now, for Abaddon specifically and Draknir, I'm very happy to get this cloak. It's gonna be interesting to see how this is gonna go on, because I always have a problem with this cloak, or the pelt that's on here, because it's a rubbery plastic. I don't know, it seems like it's always falling off his shoulders. So yeah, so I'm hoping with the soft goods cloak that's here. Oh shit, dude, this is gonna be a bit of a pain. But so here's his So he's got this cloth fur piece, and there's a little bit of a leather look to it as well. And then we got this piece here. I'm definitely going to have to look this up. And this is all wired too, which is interesting. So I think this is his tabard. Yeah, that's his tabard piece. So we're going to have to pull this off. And then here is the actual cloak. Very cool. I love this side. This looks really good. Where it's like partially burnt and ripped up. So I think this is going to look very cool. And we'll put this together. And then the other piece, and this is what I'm really excited about. This is our mask of Abaddon, the Destroyer. Let's see if I can get this into focus. Cool. And this one came from JOYTOY. So I'm very excited about popping this on Abaddon. And we also have my 40k Abaddon, who also has a helmeted head as well. So let's get to this and let's start throwing his soft goods on here. By the way, Draknir, one of the best looking weapons that they've come out with for JOYTOY. But this goddamn guy is so sharp and spiky on this lower portion. Dude, I've already poked myself a bunch of times on this. So, alright, so here's the pelt I was talking about, right? This is the one that comes with him. And this thing is always falling off of my figure. Anytime I take him out to pose him or mess around with him, this thing is constantly falling off. So I'm hoping by getting the soft goods piece from Forge Knight that we're not going to have that problem anymore. So, well, first things first, I know that his... How's this going to go on, actually? Does this come off? How does this come off? Oh, interesting. Okay. So it actually just pops right off. Oh, okay. I thought I was going to mess something up, but this actually just fits on here. Move him to the side, but you can see right in there. It looks a little janky, to be honest with you, but this piece here just fits onto his belt, so that's going to be an easy piece to pull off. And then we're going to swap this piece out with the soft goods tabard. Which way is this supposed to go? Which way? Which side has the more paint? I can't tell. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think it matters, but we're going to throw this onto here. And here. And again, this tabard piece from Forge Knight is all wired. So here we go. That is his front piece. We'll see if we can get this on here without an issue. Oh, I have it upside down. Oops, oops, oops. It's supposed to go this way. Guys are supposed to tell me in the chat this, man. Come on. Be like, dude, you got it on wrong. So, let's see. We'll get this back on. Cool. Alright, now we got it on correctly. So this is just going to snap right on to him here. Oh my god, even his spikes on this guy are very spiky. This is a bit interesting. How's this going to go? Snug on here. So this goes on here. Yeah, I don't feel like this is wired on here. So this is all going to have to go in one shot to be able to poke or to lock in here. So we can see where it goes. Okay. Well, it snapped on. Alright. So that's cool. Alright, looks like I got it right, how it's hanging down from his waist. Now his cloak. Alright, his cloak, we already know is going, just from how this looks over here, we can see that it's going to attach to the two pegs on his shoulder. So this one should be pretty simple. All we have to do is take off his shoulder pads from his pegged system on his shoulders. So this one's going to come off. This one we know with that wrong colored symbol is the left one. We're going to pull this cloak off. Again, this is the cloak that came officially with the figure. What just popped? Oh, this is his mask. So that's the other piece. He does come with a mask on his face. We'll throw this on after I swap out the cloak. But now that I have the helmeted version of him, we're not going to be using that mask anymore. So All right, so here is his shoulder, and his other shoulder is pulled off. And there we go. We got the cloak taken off completely. And there's the soft goods cloak when you compare the two. And again, I have to look at the picture, but I believe that it is... How does this go? Is it black side back? Red side? Yes, it is. Okay. I'm just looking at the GIF on the thing. So this is going to be on the inside. The black will be on the back side. So that's not bad. So let's get to it and put this on. Dude, he is spikes all over the place. So let's see. This is going to go on his shoulder peg here. This is going to go on his other shoulder peg. And that's it. And we got that. That was an easy one to do. And then we can bring, well, let me get his shoulders back on here so we can lock this in place. Crazy too, because I wasn't a proponent of the soft goods on these figures, but for special figures that you really enjoy, the soft goods do make a really big improvement for the figures if they didn't have it. So alright, these are always a pain in the ass to get back on, dude. I do enjoy that they have the peg system here, but dude, these things are so much a pain in the ass to try to hold into place. There we go. Got it. Thank God. Oh, this waist piece is coming off. Wonder if this is going to be a bit of an issue now because I pulled this off. Might have to glue this on. We'll see. Let's put this on the side here. Alright, so Abaddon. That makes me a little bit worried, man. The janky hole to nothing on his waist. I don't know what the deal is with that, dude. It's a very, very weird thing. Alright, so let's get his other shoulder pad on. Hopefully no issues. I think I'm going to have to glue this piece. Or throw some glue onto it, I feel like. Alright, so his other shoulder pad. Let's see if I can get this on. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. I'm going to have to mess with this a little bit. Got it off easily enough, but now the shoulder pad does not want to go back on. Let's see if I can do it like this. Got it. Yay. All right. Got it on. So there we go. There's his cloak so far. And again, the nice thing about the wired cloak is that you can get it really in any position that you want. And then with some really nice lighting on it, it makes a really big difference. So, all right. So now the waist piece. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like the piece is being held on from friction, and this bottom piece here has like most of like this paint or glue, which has a little bit of friction on it. And then when you put this cloth piece on here, it's obviously taking away from it. So let's see if I can get this. Push this down. I feel like I'm gonna have to put some glue or something on this to make it sit. I'm trying to push this down as much as I possibly can to stop it from popping off like it was doing. So, alright, we got this on, and then we'll push this onto his waist. It sits okay for now, but I feel like it's definitely not as secure as what it was when I originally went to put this on and take it off. So, yeah. All right. So now the big portion, this thing. So I guess it's going to go like this. But how does this work? Oh, is there a hole here? I guess that's a hole. Does this go over the shoulder? Like this? I feel like it might, actually. Or does it grip onto here? I don't know. I'm going to have to look at the picture and see. Does it go like this? Alright, let me look at the picture and see. Because it's a little bit challenging here to see what's going on. Alright, let's do... Let's see. Not sure how easy it is to put on. I'm debating getting the soft goods for my Blood Angels Blade Guard veteran. I think that one's easy to do. I don't think that's going to be a problem. So, later, Walkabout Games. Have a good night, dude. Thanks for joining. Fair enough. Saw Fell Blade Dread on Amazon the other day. Ooh, dude, I got that. I got the Ultramarine Leviathan Dreadnought with BG or DG. Book G rather, and he's doing a full repaint of the Raven Guards for me. So, all right, let me look up the website for Forge Night and figure out really quickly how this one is supposed to go for Abaddon. So let's see. Let me find, where's Abaddon? Abaddon. I also ordered for the Mortithei. I ordered the two of the cloaks from Forge Night, which they just came out with recently. So, very excited to get those. I'm going to use one for Cadus Nex and one for one of the Mortithei. So, alright, where is Abaddon? Here's Abaddon. Alright, let me just look at this really quickly, guys, and then I should be able to get this on. Why don't they show his back? So, oh Lord. All I need is like a back shot to tell how this is supposed to go. I guess I can figure it out. Yeah, it's weird. I guess it just goes over that shoulder. Does it go over like this? Does it just grip onto there? Yeah, I don't know how this is supposed to go. This is a weird one. Normally, it's pretty easy. They aren't like this. You'll normally be able to pretty easily put them on. I thought, what was it? The Sanguinor. I thought his was going to be unbelievably difficult to put on, but actually his turned out to be one of the easiest ones to put on, period, the figure. So that was pretty cool. All right, I feel like I got it. Let's see. No. Kind of? I guess so. But then, oh, I see what they did. Okay, so the little cut up piece. So here's where, okay, so this is, okay, I see what they did. So this is going to be here. I get it. Okay. I still feel like I have this on wrong somehow. But this is the cloak for Abaddon. And I'm going to have to mess with this because this is not as impressive as I thought it was going to be. But there we go. That's the cloak and the tabard and the wolf pelt. I guess that's a wolf pelt that replaces this. I'm not too impressed with this one, I'll be honest with you. Looks more like a Dracula cloak than anything. But there we go. So we're going to jump over now to the piece that I'm really looking forward to. And that is this mask. So just like Horus has a mask that you can buy from WOG Toys, or you can buy from Toyverse, or some of the other 3D printing companies. But this is his, oh, let me get this chat off of here. But this is his helm that he has. So let's see. There we go. So there, I think the entire arm goes through the band and the whole goes onto the spike around his back, I believe. Yeah, that's what it is. Or maybe it's weird. I guess, oh, you know what? This is going to be a problem, man. Yeah, I'm going to have to glue this on. This is going to have to be glued on. His belt piece, where the tabard goes around his waist. This is just popping right off because it's not really... It was like partially glued on, and it kind of fits, but it's not snug. So, but going back to the mask from for Abaddon, which I ordered from Cool Toys Club, or WOG Toys rather, I think this looks really cool. I think this looks really cool. And I know a lot of purists will be like, "Oh, it's Abaddon. Why does he have a mask?" But I don't know. I think it looks cool. And you're gonna see with my Horus Heresy version of Abaddon also. I think that looks really cool. I think that looks cool. What do you guys think? I think that looks badass. I'm happy with this. Again, I'm gonna have to see it keeps popping off, man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take some glue to this after the stream and figure it out. So here is his extra parts that we're replacing from him. So the back piece cloak, we'll throw it onto the side. We got his black tabard piece, plastic as well. And we got this piece. I'm really hoping I can figure out how to do that fur piece for the soft goods, because right now it's not looking better than that one. So, and then we get his little mask that he comes with, his rebreather, that's going to be thrown on the side. And then we're going to throw Draknir in his hand. And hopefully I do not... Oh, yep, I spiked my hand. Too much. Man, he must be in pain every time that he's holding this. So, it looks... Well, it actually is growing on me a little bit. I just have to figure out... Like I said, the thing that's bothering me, and it's not a problem with the cloak, it's this waist. Look at this shit, dude. This thing is just popping off. Dude, god damn it. I'm going to have to glue that on. So, here's our Abaddon, the Despoiler, with Draknir. Goddamn, that sword looks cool. And then we get the soft goods cloak, as well as his masked helm. Or I guess it's not his helm, but his mask. So this looks very cool. Very happy with how this came out. Like I said, I got to mess around with the fur piece. And this piece on the front keeps popping off where his tabard goes. So there he is, but we're going to bring in our 40 or Horus Heresy version of Abaddon with another custom. This time it's a full helm from WOG Toys. And we can see Abaddon before he became full Black Legion and went fully to the Chaos side. So I love this helm. I think this looks absolutely awesome. But there he is. Let me know what you guys think. Is this an upgrade or did I waste my money? I needed to get that helmet. It looks great. Yeah, dude. Like I said, I think that the color on it, now that I'm looking at the camera, it actually looks really good. I think the entire arm, yeah. I'm going to try messing around with that and we'll see. God, I got all excited for my White Scars Dread, but it wasn't for me. Yeah, so overall, like I said, I think that this is cool. I'm happy that I picked it up. The soft goods tabard piece has me pissed off because that belt piece is not going back on snugly. So I think once I glue the piece back, I think we'll be in a better spot. The fur piece on the shoulder, I'm going to have to mess around with and see if I can figure out how that's supposed to go. Because right now it does not look like an upgrade over the plastic piece. But I'll look at it and I'll post some pictures after I fix this. Plus, you guys will see it when I do the full review of my collection room. You'll see him with his fully upgraded stuff, as well as see if I can fix that fur piece that goes across his shoulders. So, but overall, I think it looks awesome. I love these two Abaddon figures. The Horus Heresy version is awesome, and then the powered up Black Legion figure looks great with his Talon of Horus and Draknir. Looks absolutely awesome. I think this is a nice upgrade. Like I said, the only thing holding it back for me now is just to make sure that I can fix the issue with this fur piece, man. And that waist, I'm gonna have to glue that waist on. So yeah, no, that's the cape. You know, to be honest with you, I saw the back of it is not, like, I don't know, I feel like it just needs, I don't know, when you look at, let's bring the other cloak in here. When you look at this, right, the black wash on this really helps do it. I think this is too clothy maroon, if that makes sense. I feel like they should have done to the inside of the cloak what they did to the back side of the cloak here, right? It's a little more weathered. You can see it's kind of burnt and ripped. I feel like this is too new looking on the inside of the character of the figure. So yeah, I think that's a little bit of an issue. The tabard piece looks good, but it looks out of place when you compare it to this red. I feel like this should have been the color throughout. I don't feel like the maroon. This is too maroon looking, dude. Like, this doesn't look like he was wearing this for 10,000 years. The back of it looks okay. The front on the inside of his cloak is just, it's too new looking. And that's my problem with it. So I love the helm, though. I love the helm mask on this figure. Looks absolutely awesome. Like I said, the tabard piece looks good. I'm just going to have to glue this belt buckle onto here for the figure. And then the piece with this looks terrible. I'll be honest with you. This looks terrible. So I got to figure out, I'm guessing I did this incorrectly. Because this does not look like an upgrade over the plastic piece that's here. So, and there we go. See what I'm saying? This shit keeps falling off. God damn it, man. This is pissing me off. I just want to look at this really quick. It looks like I should be able to glue this on and get this on there. I think that I'm just going to have to push this down immensely. So now you guys can see, man. You can see sometimes, again, this is probably the most issues that I had with a soft goods set. So outside of this one, I haven't had any problems with the Forge Knight pieces. Again, overall, I would give the set out of 10. Meh, I would say probably 6. It's definitely not as big of an upgrade as I thought it was going to be. It's nice, but I think the thing that's killing me is this inside of the cloak looks way too new. He definitely did not rock this for 10,000 years. They should have just done, I think, the black with the see-through red throughout the entire cloak. I think they tried to do a little bit too much with this. And this just looks too new. This looks too new, man. That's the problem. If they had done the wired, like if they had done this color through the inside of the cloak, I think that would have been great. So I think that would have been good. Again, I think that this, I don't know, that pelt piece is terrible looking, man. I feel like I'm going to have to go back to the one that he came with, which I didn't want to. And then this piece I'm going to have to glue on. That's not anything with Starforge. I mean, with Forge Knight. So overall, good. So let's grab our 2 figures that we opened up. Well, not 2 figures that we opened up, but we got our Dark Emissary, and we got our 40k Abaddon here. So good review. I'm actually pretty happy that I picked this this Lobot wannabe up. So he looks good. Like I said, I'm just gonna have to pick up a helmeted head for him, and we will be all set. When will the full collection room viewing be? I'm gonna do a full review video of my collection room. That will be after I get back from vacation, because I want to wait for my full Raven Guard contingent to come, because I have an entire DTOF set aside for my Raven Guard. I have a special display for Corvus Corex. So once I get everything and we do that review, then we're going to do I'll do a full video on my entire collection, which has come out really awesomely, especially with that diorama that I'm building. I think it looks really, really awesome. So we'll be doing that pretty soon. So I think the soft goods are okay. I don't know if it's better than the plastic, though. It just feels like a different or a side grade than an upgrade. Yeah, I don't know, man. Which helmeted head are you going to get for him? I don't know. I have to look and see what they have available. There isn't much on JOYTOY's site. I'm probably going to have to go to Toyverse and see what I can pick up over there. Because I think he needs a little more of an ornate looking helm. Because the one that I picked up recently and I threw over on one of the other Horus Heresy figures that came out was the Little Horus helm. And I thought that was a pretty nice upgraded version for the one that came with a, I forgot his name. I know DD in chat will remember. I forgot the character that it came with, but I swapped it out. But again, I have to look and see what it says, what they have available on the site. So, all right, guys, as usual, guys, if you like this content, please like and subscribe. Wow, where did my button? Dude, it is being a weird night with all my stuff. I should have rebooted my PC. Should have rebooted my PC before I jumped on, but my button's not working. My button's not working. But anyway, guys, if you like this content, please like and subscribe. We'll be back on Wednesday night. We're going to continue to do another Space Marine 2 playthrough. We might actually be back tomorrow night because I think I want to play more Warhammer Survivors. I'm getting very interested in that game. I want to play some more of it. So, and then this Saturday, we have the interview with Gothic Garnish. I don't know if you guys have checked him out on Instagram. He makes some unbelievable visuals through AI tools on Instagram. He has, I think, like over 100,000 subscribers. But he makes some unbelievable AI animations of Warhammer. You guys got to see the short that I just put up. Those were all pictures of the Primarchs that he animated out. That looks awesome. So, all right, guys, have a good night, and I will be seeing you. All right, guys, I'm Wraith. I'm out. Later, guys.